cold.
It is quite cold. Well, I'm not cold, but it is cold in here.
I think it might be too cold in here.
I'm not cold
for super
because
glue to activate.
of all the graft.
Yeah, but the super glue's not grafting.
The super glue's not literally not grafting, is it? Why are you using super glue? It's a tree. It's plastic, isn't it?
Yeah, but I need it to dry quickly because if you use plastic glue, it just droops.
The irony.
Yeah. What I need to do is go find a hot glue gun somewhere.
I have one at home, which is no use to you right now, but I can bring it
to.
in. We don't really use it. I don't really use it.
Yeah, but every time I ask you to bring something in, it normally takes
a couple of weeks.
3 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So I've just now.
It's almost like I'm really fucking busy.
Yeah, but that was before the store. You even thought.
I've
about
still
going to
been
the
pretty
store.
busy.
Like I've just learned to just do it myself now. Like if I need something, just buy it myself. It's easier than going through you. For
It depends what it is you need, because your need and an actual need are two very different things.
Well,
so when you're like, I need a 17th set of company heroes, I'm like, you don't really need it. That's
well,
more
when
of a
you've got
want.
17 legions,
That's more of a want than a need.
17 Space Marine armies.
Yeah, but company heroes are a 40k Space Marine unit, and there's only 9 chapters.
Yeah, but you can have 3 in
Loyalist.
each.
Yeah.
But actually, 17 is less than I can take. So.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine Tuesday afternoon here in the Great Hall. It would normally be chairs on a Tuesday stream, but the reason why we're late is my fault. I've just come up from downstairs because we have many people, big wow, in the ground floor working away. We currently have 3 aircon units that are going through test right now that have all been fitted, wired up, and this morning they're finally putting the finishing touches, attaching all the panels, and it's lovely and cosy and warm in there at the moment. We also have a sink that's been installed in the bar area, and we're now getting a hatch put in. We've got another 2 people in fitting 30 speakers downstairs, and they're about to start fitting the CCTV cameras so you lot can't nick anything. It's a hive of activity, and Toby and I have been down there building our literal metric ton of retail shelving. It literally turned up and the packaging said 1,000 kilos. It was much heavy. So apologies for being 5-10 minutes late, but that is what it is, right? We're here. And Joe turned up about an hour-ish ago, and I said to him, we can move the cameras, or we can just sit at the table and do a building stream. And we're like, we'll just do this, it's easier. I'm still slowly but surely building my Desolation Marines, which are a 10th edition specialty. And Joe is currently building...
Well, Desolation Marines 9th edition.
Were they 9th edition?
They came in the box that had the...
Were they 9th edition? I thought 10th edition.
That had the Brutalis Dreadnought in it, which launched just before 10th edition.
You might be right, actually, just.
Because I remember I took triple Brutalis to Warhammer Fest.
Was that 9th edition?
And that was 9th edition.
I am so fucking confused as to what's what, to be fair.
Yeah.
David says 9th ed, so you think you're right. Okay. Anyway, Joe's building fantasy trees. Games Workshop recently put the fantasy trees. If you're unaware, I'll see if I can quickly show you. They're these, right? They put these fantasy trees up on made to order recently. Yeah. And Joe really wanted them for the show because they're the nicest trees they've probably made.
I think they're the nicest when they're built is what I can now confirm. Yeah. Now I understand why there were so many dead ones on tables.
Because the leaves are a faff.
Fucking leaves on them.
Yeah. So so Joe said we want some for the show. I think I bought 4 boxes, 3 boxes, 4 boxes, 4 boxes of trees. Yeah. Because they are quite nice, and I still think that Games Workshop's plastic terrain is the nicest terrain. So he's working through that at the moment. We've got a couple of other. Anyway, I got another box that turned up as well, which is at home. They sent it in 2 different orders for some reason. Oh. There's another piece of AOS terrain that's sat at home somewhere that needs to come in.
I wonder what that is.
Can't remember, but yeah. So that's what we're doing this afternoon. We're also here to talk about 10th edition specifically. So, right. We are now in November. We're actually past mid-November. We have Christmas upon us with Christmas boxes, and then we have 6 months of potentially 500 Worlds narrative stuff before 11th edition hits. It's no secret that 11th edition is probably coming in June, July time, because Warhammer 40k is on a 3-year cycle.
Yeah.
Now, I don't like 3-year cycles. That's not what this conversation is about. I think that it's too short, and I think that some people don't get very long to play with their toys before it suddenly all changes. And inevitably, there is a degree of change, I think, impacting balance and fairness and enjoyability. But there's also a degree of, I think, changes happening because essentially they want to sell different models. So Victrix Guard, for example, I own 6 of the new Victrix Guard. 3 are built and base coated and 3 are built. I'm not buying 18, and part of the reason why I'm not buying 18 is because I suspect that in 6 months' time, when 11th edition launches, it might not be as good just after they've sold 18 to everybody.
Yeah, I think 12 is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
I think 12, 2 units of 6 is enough and leaves you enough points outside it to kind of like put other bits in.
I don't want to ever take more than 6.
Why?
I don't think it works for me narratively.
Yeah, but,
It's phoning me.
but how many of them could there be? You know, there could be hundreds of them.
There could be
for all we
hundreds,
know.
but I don't want to have hundreds in my 2,000 point list. I want to have
Yeah.
6. Anyway, so we are on the twilight years of 10th edition potentially now, and it's been a bit of a roller coaster, I think. Actually, if we look back at the last sort of 2.5 years, from what was promised to where we are now, it's been a hell of a roller coaster. We were told that the edition had been rebuilt from the ground up. We were told that there was significantly less rerolls, there was less lethality, things were less killy, things lasted longer. We were told lots of work had gone into balance and narrative and etc. In fact, we got given a whole raft of buzz phrases and keywords with 10th edition. And when it launched, I think it's fair to say that it quickly became apparent that wasn't really the case. And it was a bit fucking mental and all over the place and broken. That level of broken, I think, is still apparent, because if you go onto the website now and you look at the Warcom downloads, the addendums that come in for 10th edition, the extra content you need to consume to fully understand all of the rules for match play Warhammer 40k. I'm not even talking about the balanced data set at this point. I'm talking about the errata, FAQ, etc. There's fucking pages of it. Pages and pages and pages and pages. I think it was 30 or 40 pages last time I looked.
Yeah.
At the rules, appendix, designs, commentary, etc. So much like Kev's just said, they fed us this simplified, not simple nonsense. I don't think that worked, to be honest with you. I don't think it's simpler at all. I don't think it's even remotely close. I think what happened is we got given a load of marketing gumph, and the marketing people didn't really talk to the rules writers, or the rules writers fed them a story that flat just wasn't true. Now, all that being said, that's not me saying it is shit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it is shit. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that what we were promised versus what we were delivered, I think were two very different things. And I think there's a lot of disdain about that. And I think a lot of people, honestly, have stepped away from 10th edition 40k because of some of that and because it's a bit of a mess and a bit all over the place. And a lot of people have suggested, actually, that it feels less narrative to them, it feels less engaging to them. It's just about rolling dice and working with numbers on perfectly symmetrical tables with L-shaped MDF ruins. And so it's kind of lost some of its like charismatic spark. It's kind of gone. So the question today, Joe, that I put on the stream title, which I think is an interesting one, is as we come into the Twilight Years of 10th edition, has it been a success or has it been a failure?
I'd say in Games Workshop size, it's been a success. Like ultimately now, more people are playing Warhammer than ever before.
Yeah.
Like Games Workshop's making mad money.
Yeah.
They're making that cheddar, you know?
Yeah.
They are
Quite literally.
Yeah, like literally hundreds upon hundreds of Warhammer 40k events happen all around the world every weekend. Like, so I think like as you and Paddy like to do, the numbers and the maths.
Yeah,
they don't lie.
I love the numbers and the maths.
Loves
mate.
the numbers and the maths. Like it's it's great. I think the game this edition started off poorly.
Yeah.
It was too simplified.
Was it? Well, yeah.
In the sense that like there wasn't much. Like the game itself. The reason we now have 30 to 40 pages of clarifications is because the rules were too simple.
So
and they were too open-ended.
Yeah.
Like it needed to be simplified, but not abusable. You know?
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Too many people were abusing it.
That's just 40k players forever, though, right? That's not really a massive surprise to a lot of us.
Yeah, the moment people get rules in their hands, people that want to win will find a way to win, right? And they will use grammar and punctuation and, well, technically, as an excuse to get away with doing what they think they can get away with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair.
It's like, well, the rules don't say that I can't do it, so...
I've heard that so often. It's a permissive rule set. It doesn't say I can't.
Yeah. Well, rules as intended, rules as written.
It doesn't tell you that you can't deploy a rhino on its side, but you don't do that, do you?
Yeah, so they had to put a rule... They had to actually write a clarification in what a fucking circle is, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because... It's because people will abuse it, right? I don't think the game is actually less narrative, right?
Okay.
Right?
I think I disagree, but go on.
Because I don't think the game's ever been narrative.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
Right.
That's a fucking bold statement.
Because I've said this before. People had a go at me, and I still stand by it because it's true.
Okay, I'm here for it.
Right?
I'm here to listen.
The narrative comes from the people putting the models on the table. You choose to be narrative when you decide to play the game with a conversation with someone else. The rules just let you do whatever the fuck you want. Because every single edition, everyone playing the game puts on the toys that they want to play with, right? And you choose to put what you want. You choose what to put in your army, ultimately. In the 7th edition, people had units of Raven Wing bikers. Oh, fire alarm.
Don't worry about it. I know what it is.
Fire alarm test.
Now Toby's going to be running downstairs to silence the alarm. I've shown him how to do it.
Yeah?
Let's see if he works it out.
He's just going to be crying.
I just heard the door go, so he's now running down the
He's
stairs.
like, I mean, we could mute ourselves, but
nah,
where's
fuck
the fun
it.
in that?
They get to enjoy it as well.
Yeah. I wonder how loud it is. Oh, 1 minute. Bear with.
I like the fact that Toby wrote, "Joe, are we about to fall out?" Just as
Yeah.
and then you start talking, he sets the fire alarm off. See, I told you
He sorted it now.
I told you no.
So yeah, Toby, I don't think we are going to fall out because, like, people chose to take units of Raven Wing bikers, put.
It is kind of noticeable.
Yeah. Yeah, so people take a unit of Raven Wing bikers, they'd put a Space Wolf.
Oh, I remember this. I know you were going, yeah.
Tech Marine in it on a Thunder Wolf. They put a White Scar Captain in it with an eye of whatever, some Librarians, and some Dark Angel stuff, and then like 3 Iron Hand Captains in one unit.
Yeah.
End of 7th edition, people were running triple.
But do you not think
triple Riptide, triple whatever, right? Like people choose what to put in their armies to make it good. In 8th edition, I was running Chaos armies with a double Gatling Cannon Knight, little Be'lakor, 20 Plague Bearers, a bunch of Nurglings, and 3 Mauler Fiends. And I was winning tournaments.
But do you not think, right? I don't disagree with you, right? No matter how narrative you make an event, no matter how narrative you make a rule set, I think there has got to be a significant amount of burden and responsibility on the individual, the player.
So, yeah.
But do you not think that things like blast templates, armor facings, initiative values, weapon skills, flamer templates leans a person naturally more towards a narrative type of storytelling game, or do you think it has literally no impact?
A template is a rule. It's not a narrative, right? Because D6 shots is the same as an explosion. D6 people being hit. A flamer is hitting D6 plus 3 people.
If you fire a blast weapon at the moment, right, against a single model, right, currently, if you fire a battle cannon against a single model, it does D6 plus 3 hits that one model.
Yeah.
With a blast template, it would do 1 hit to that one model, and that's it.
Yeah.
So the idea is that a blast is supposed to be an area effect weapon, and then things like las cannons and single shot missiles and crack missiles are supposed to be the
So
punchy one.
you could argue that a template weapon hitting a person, a single model, is less narrative.
Why?
Right?
Why?
Because if you hit someone with a rocket launcher, right, it's going to do maximum damage to them and less damage to people around because their body's going to like absorb the hit, right? Their body essentially turns into shrapnel, but they're absorbing the hit. You know, like people like how they like jump onto grenades kind of thing.
Yeah.
That person takes the maximum damage, less damage outside, right?
Okay.
So when a round goes into a room, into a building, it's actually going to do a lot of damage in that in that small space. So like
maybe blast is not the greatest example, but let's take weapon skill. Let's take weapon skill. Weapon skill is a great one for narrative, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So Primarch being weapon skill lots and a guardsman being weapon skill not very much.
Yeah.
Means that a guardsman's going to be hitting a Primarch on 6s, right? Probably, and a Primarch hits a guardsman on 2s. But at the moment, with the way the rules are, if a guardsman hits on 4s, he hits on 4s, flat. If a guardsman's fighting a Primarch, he's never getting a punch in.
But there's lots of them.
It doesn't
Right?
matter.
It does matter, right?
It doesn't matter.
Right, because the Primarch can only face in one direction. Say you've got 20 guardsmen, they're going to be climbing on him like lizards, right? They're just going to be they're going to be weighing him down. They can't miss him, technically, because he's massive.
But it doesn't matter when you've got one there. Like it doesn't.
If
it doesn't
there's
scale.
one there, basically...
So hitting on 6s with weapon skill scales because if you've got loads of them there, you've got a higher chance of rolling 6s.
Yeah.
But currently it doesn't scale right.
But the reason why is that the simplification that you got right. Here's your maths example right now. With the simplification of the game has got more popular.
Correct. I agree with that.
Right.
So in terms of financial success,
Yeah.
I don't think we can question 10th edition.
Yeah. No. So but financially also the rules have changed to be more accessible for everyone to join. Removing the little charts is less for people to do. When I worked in Games Workshop in 7th edition, people would be like, I have to look at a chart and I have to take this guy and then go here, right? Now, kids, not smart adults, can look at a piece of paper and it goes, oh, I hit on this.
But I don't know if that's like. So I think that ballistic skill should never go back to a chart.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs to.
So, my counter argument to this is I think that the rules are more simplified, but Games Workshop's giving you army building rules that are actually more narrative.
But the thing is
But
with the
you choose
simplification, granted, little Timmy doesn't have to look at a chart now.
Yeah.
But he just have to go read a 43-page clarification document.
He doesn't have to.
He does.
If he wants to go and
right.
play in the tournament, yes, he does.
The way that most people play now,
But 12. Not many 12-year-old kids are going to tournaments. Like you can now buy an AdMech book, a codex,
which is wrong.
buy a Gene Stealer Cult codex, buy
Don't buy any of
the
it yet.
stuff.
Wait till we've got it. In stock.
You can go and play that game without looking at FAQs. Your armies
You're gonna have a terrible time.
They're gonna like one person's gonna win, one person's gonna lose, right? But you don't need the clarification. All those rules clarifications are actually like more tournament based.
Yeah, but the thing is, and this is an argument I've had with people before frequently. I say argument, more of a conversation. You're not wrong. Whenever these balanced data states come out, when these FAQs come out, they come out specifically under the guise of match play. Now, I have come to believe that these are just for match play, is Games Workshop's get out of jail free card, so that you can't say to them, this codex that I bought is obsolete immediately, I want a refund.
Yeah.
Because I'll go, you don't have to use the match play rules.
No.
But who doesn't want to use the rules that balances their army?
Yeah.
So that's ultimately that's the big problem is the rhetoric that you don't have to use them is correct, is true. You don't have to use them. But if you don't, and you're an AdMech player, you're putting yourself at a significant disadvantage. And how many times do you think you're going to play a pickup game anywhere where, especially if your opponent's rules improve their army on match play, where a person's going to go, yeah, we don't use any match play rules. They're going to want to play match play rules. So you do need to read the documents. You do need to be up to date with it. This has been slightly improved by the fact that Games Workshop now has an app, obviously.
Yeah.
The app, for me, is one of the biggest successes in 10th edition, and I think there's only a couple of tweaks. I think I'd like a better laid out main rules section, because sometimes we have a clarification we need here, and it can be a bit of a nightmare to try and find it, because the search bar isn't the best in the world.
Yeah.
And I do think that I would like them to just give you the option to turn on or off access to Legends units within the app.
Yeah.
I can't see it being that difficult.
I reckon that might come in the 11th edition.
I just feel that's a really easy way to satisfy. Like, we'd play a lot more Legends on the channel. I certainly would if I had access to them in an app.
Throne of Skulls doubles events at Warhammer World allow you to use Legend.
Do they?
Yeah.
So put them in the fucking app then.
Yeah.
You know, because at the moment I don't want to have to try and print off a PDF and have that next to me, or have a separate document on my phone. I just want to use the app, because the app, I actually think the app's very, very good.
Yeah.
I actually think the app is a huge
set
part of
people off
10th
by saying
edition.
that.
What, that the app's really good? I think it is. Tell me an app currently, if we, let's for a brief second ignore the paywall.
Yeah.
Tell me a Warhammer app currently, out of the ones that exist, that's better than the Warhammer 40k one for playing Warhammer 40k.
I don't use any of them.
Because a lot of the fucking edgelords out there that are like, I love Warhammer, but I won't buy a single thing from Games Workshop. I'll never spend a penny.
Yeah.
3D printers are better. Fuck off. They'll also go, new recruit. Have you seen the output of that fucking thing?
I've seen it and I don't like it.
It's fucking horrible. Granted, it's free.
Yeah.
You know, fair enough. But it's fucking awful.
I think like the game is way more accessible now and user friendly. You can build narrative armies. Like at the end of the day, the Games Workshop have given you a narrative rule set based on detachments.
I mean, arguably, this leans into your point now, right? Is that you can build narrative armies.
Yeah, people just don't choose to.
Because a lot of people's complaints are, well, there's no, and I personally would rather see list building restrictions come back in. That's my personal preference. But what we do have to remember is, to Joe's point, not that I love agreeing with him all the time, I have mostly today been trying to play devil's advocate, but you can build anything you want. You take anything you want.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to take 6 units of intercessors and 3 units of assault intercessors and just massive battle line.
Yeah.
Because I've written my Ultramarines army that I've written. I've tried to written it. I've written it within a company structure as best I can. So I'm making a choice there to be narrative.
Yeah.
So when a person runs 3 units of company heroes, 3 captains, 3 units of blade guard, 3 redemptors, they had the choice to be narrative.
Yeah.
They chose to pick the strongest units.
Yeah. Like some people will choose to run 27 captains. You know,
Has that happened?
People have run them. I
mean,
I applaud them because I think at the end of the day, GW have provided sandbox rules for us to do whatever the hell we want with, right? But in the current day and age, everyone just wants to be more competitive. People want to win, and you do the best by running the best.
With that in mind, then, would you call the overall rule set throughout the last 2.5 years a success or a failure?
I call it a success.
I'm
having the most amount of fun.
I'd be inclined to add a caveat, and I think the first 6 months I'd probably classify as a failure.
Oh, it was awful.
And then I think the work they've done since, after the first 6 months, I didn't want to play very much anymore. After the next 6 months, 4th edition AOS came out, and I just wanted to play that because I thought it was better. And then slowly but surely, 40K's wrestled me back. They've done. I know that I complained about the document, the 43-page clarification document, but they have clarified everything, tidied it all up.
Do you know what's also happened in the last 3 years, I think, to actually improve the game? It secretly improved the game, but we all hated it when it happened. It's the stripping out, the purge. There's less units in the game now.
R.I.P. Gabriel Seth.
Yeah, right, there could have been 3 less data sheets in that Blood Angel supplement and just had Gabriel Seth in it, right?
That was a choice they made, and I don't think it was the right one, but carry on.
Yeah, but anyway, there's less units in the game now, so it's easier to balance, I think. Like every time a codex loses, like an army loses 5 or 6 units, it's easier for Games Workshop to balance that army. Yeah. Right. I know that we'll take the Drakari Codex for instance, right? They've lost a lot. They lost the Court of the Archon, which is a super flavorful unit. They've lost Grotesques. They lost Beast Packs. But that codex is super streamlined. It's super good. And I'm a big fan of it. Kind of thing. So
like, that's good.
I think it's a good codex.
But you think it's good they stripped it to get to that point?
I think they had to strip it to help get rid of all of the resin, all the metal stuff, right? There's multiple ways you can look at the situation. It's sad they're gone, but it has helped them write a better book.
Do you think, though, that then you look at their cousins, the Aldari, they've also gone through a purge of removing all the resin by giving them loads of
but
beautiful new
the thing is,
kits.
though, like, you have to think the Games Workshop's a business, right? And they're a business that's thinking about longevity. If you release everything for all armies in a 3-year window in one edition, what do you do for the next 12
So
years?
do you think that Drukhari's going to streamline down, but will grow back out again?
I reckon every army this edition that's lost resin units will get those units back.
Interesting. Okay.
So like Orcs will get Captain Badruck back. Blood Angels will definitely get Death Company back. I don't know if they'll get Seth back. I want them to get Seth back.
Of course you do.
But I don't know if they will, right? Like Drukhari will definitely get Grotesques back.
You reckon?
Yeah. I reckon they'll get Court of the Archon back in Team Kill. In Kill Team.
Team Kill?
Team Kill Team. Right, they'll get those back eventually. Because Court of the Archon has got Kill Team written all over it.
Okay.
Like
I mean it has, I think you're right.
Yeah. I think it'll all come back round. Like Guard will get Yarrick back. They just handled it really badly. I think the biggest flaw, or the biggest weakness in Games Workshop currently, to their detriment, is Warcom. And the lack of communication from Warcom and the rest of Games Workshop.
Warcom is a really interesting beast.
Yeah.
On the one hand, Warcom is great because we have a centralised news feed. On the other hand, we all have to be really cognizant that Warcom is Games Workshop centralised news feed. And so it's never going to, Warcom is never going to be these new trees. They're all right. They're a bit of a pig to put together, but you can pick them up. They're never going to say that. They're going to say, this is the best set of trees you'll ever buy in your whole life, because it's Warcom. I'm interested, I'd love to know, and I don't actually know the answer to this, I'd love to know with Warcom whether they, so when I wrote the article for Spaceballs for them, for Warcom, it was pretty much word for word what I sent them.
Yeah.
Very little was changed. Very little was changed. So in that regards, if people are writing articles for them, I mostly believe they don't change it, which is why they end up printing articles with incorrect rules. However, when it comes to the marketing pieces, so for example, the whole piece around 10th edition at the start, I'd love to know whether that's rules writers going to Warcom and going, right, this is the things, this is the stuff, right, this is the things that we've done for 10th edition, and some guy just going, cool, I've written an article for it, there you go. Do they get them to check it afterwards? Or is that Warcom being told, right, you've got to market it, off you go?
I think Simplified Not Simple has got marketing student buzzword written all over it.
A little bit, yeah.
I don't think that was the rules writers. I think that was just someone trying to make 10th edition sound exciting and creating a cool phrase to help sell stuff, right? You know, don't sell the sausage, sell the sizzle, you know?
Can you say that again, please?
Don't sell the sausage, sell the sizzle, right? That stuck with me from a guy, when I worked for Jack Communication in a phone shop.
Yeah.
I went on a phone, like a training day, and this guy kept repeating it, and I wanted to hurt him. He was fundamentally right, but I hated the phrase.
Okay.
Right? You don't sell, because when you sell a sausage is just a tube of pork with some skin on it.
I reckon you could sell that, Joe.
You sell the smell, you sell the taste, right? You sell the experience of eating a sausage. Just, right? Just Bonnie blew it, as many as you can, right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just Bonnie Blewett is a phrase?
Yeah. I want that on a t-shirt. Yeah, the new Nike's logo symbol, isn't it?
Oh, love it.
So yeah, so I think 10th edition is great, and I think there's something I've experienced. I've talked to a lot of people about is over different subjects, but it kind of pops up quite often. Is that people like to complain? You know, people like to moan. People like to shit on stuff. You know.
Well, there's that famous phrase, isn't there, about the two things that wargamers hate.
Yeah.
Change and the way things are.
Yeah, so I don't know if Dan will appreciate this, me saying this, but Dan doesn't really like 10th edition. He struggles with it.
So this was a point I was going to move on to as part of the topic of conversation. By the way, chat, some people are doing it. If you stick your opinions on a postcard, on a super chat and send it in, I'll be getting to them quite soon. I would like you to drive the conversation as well and give us points to talk about. So stick them on a 5, 10, 20 buck postcard, stick it into the chat and we'll talk about it in just a minute. Also, what you can do to support us, which really helps, is gift memberships, which would be incredible. As you guys know, it's chaos here at the moment. We're building an empire downstairs. Your support is amazing. So if you can gift memberships, that's the best way to support us. It's like 87% of channel revenue comes from memberships. And of that 87%, I think well over 70% of that is gifted. So literally the reason why the lights are on. You're amazing. But what I was about to say was, we know a raft of people, a lot of people, that have specifically in 10th edition down tools for playing 40k as often as they used to, and have moved. And they've stayed, most of them, I think, almost all of them that I know, have stayed within the Games Workshop ecosystem.
Yeah.
They've moved to AOS, or they've gone to Old World, or whatever, or Heresy. Because I think, and I wonder, this is where I wonder if 10th edition is secretly a success, but it looks like a failure. So to someone like Dan, who doesn't play much 40k anymore, doesn't really like it, you would argue 10th edition is a failure.
Yeah.
But he's not playing Games Workshop.
No.
He's just gone to a system that gives him the things that he wants. So I wonder if you look at how the Heresy rule set works, where you still have blast templates and armor facings and AP and initiative. If you look at AOS and how simplified AOS works, if you look at Old World and you've now got your rank and file again and wheeling units around, and you look at 40k, have Games Workshop been slightly genius in going, actually, there's a reason to pay every game? We haven't just got a sci-fi skinned Old World.
So actually, you've helped me realise a point.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Bing.
If
Just a cheap report with skin on it.
yeah, if people played Warhammer games for narrative army building, right, and having all your games be super narrative, playing the mission, having a strict, cohesive army tree, right? But the what's it called? What is it called? Combined arms attachment. Horus Heresy would be more popular. Horus Heresy would be way bigger as a game. Because Horus Heresy gives you everything that narrative army building.
What's my favourite faction?
What?
What's my favourite faction?
Whatever, well, I don't know, whatever season it is, whatever month it
Eldar.
changes.
Eldar's my favourite faction.
Yeah, and they're not in Horus Heresy.
Right.
I get that, right?
So that's my only real counterpoint.
Yeah.
Is that.
But Horus Heresy, if people wanted to play a game system that's narrative and allows you to go, my sergeant's got a power fist, an artificer armor, and I've got a guy with his fancy special weapon, right? I think Horus Heresy would be more popular, right?
I don't entirely disagree with you, but I don't want to play Space Marines versus Space Marines.
they have
Space Marines versus Space Marines has made the rule set pretty great.
There
Because
are
shit
rule
doesn't
sets
die.
out there to play Orcs and Eldar in Horus Heresy.
Not formally, not officially.
It's not officially released, no, but they do exist, right? But the thing is, like, when I look at, so I think the edition started off strong with narrative army building, but the problem was, because people like to complain, you've given me narrative army list building, but it's not how I like it. So they went, here's a Tyranid Codex. You can make a Vanguard Invaders detachment, which is all about Gene Stealers and Lictors and stuff like that, right? You can go off and make a narrative Tyranid army, right? You can do Crusher Stampede, you can do Invasion Fleet, you can do all flying stuff. And we're like, that's great, right? That's wonderful. We can use the rules you have given us to make a narrative army. And then to prove my point earlier, then they released a Space Marine Codex. And they went, here is your Vanguard's bit. I can't remember what it was called, the Infiltrators Army, right? The Raven Guard Phobos Army. All the stratagems are towards running Raven Guard style Phobos units, like Infiltrators, like the Eliminators, right? You're all -1 to hit. You're stiffing around the table, right? What did the community do with it?
What?
You know what the community did with that detachment?
What?
They put Infiltrate on an Apothecary Biologist, put him in a unit of 6 aggressors with fucking Calgar. Right? That was not the Raven Guard detachment. That was the uppy downy Ultramarines army with infiltrating Calgar.
Mm-hmm.
So Games Workshop gave us the tools, but we abused them.
Well, here's an argument towards it being slightly more narrative at the moment, because a lot of people have told me that the game is less narrative. And I think, in my personal opinion, if you want my honest opinion, the lacking of things like initiative, weapon skill, armor values, the old AP system, etc., etc. I think that the rule set itself is less immersive in terms of narrative for me personally, and I have to work harder to make that narrative a thing, if I'm being honest. That being said, in 8th edition and 9th edition, I couldn't really run a Wind Rider host. Couldn't do it because of the way the detachments work. I just got punished. So I ran Wind Rider host for two full editions after 7th because I loved fucking Elder jet bikes. They're my favourite thing in the world. And I had to use Outrider detachments, etc., which meant that I basically got nowhere near as much CP as everybody I played against. I was often playing the game with 4 or 5 CP in the older editions when you just got them all at the start and everyone else was having 12 to 15 CP. It just hurt me.
Yeah.
And then I got to a point where I was like, I'm fucking sick of this. I can't play my narrative army. And I gave it to Joe to sell for me on eBay and he got rid of it. And then 10th edition comes along and the Eldar Codex came out at the start of the year and they went, look at this, Wind Rider host. You can take Wind Riders as battle line. You can just run all jet bikes, and I've got an army list written in my army build at the moment, which is 100% Wind Rider jet bikes, Seers and Warlocks on jet bikes, Shining Spear jet bikes, and Viper jet bikes.
Yeah.
It's 100% jet bikes, and I can now build that in 2,000 points and play it. I couldn't do that for 2 editions.
No,
I couldn't do that in 8th and 9th. So I'm like, well, that makes it. If I choose to run that list, I'm choosing to be more narrative. They gave me the tools to do that.
Yeah. But you don't. You run Fire Dragons and Lycus.
I fucking love Aspect Warriors as well.
Yeah.
I don't have any
the
jet
Aspect
bikes right
Host is amazing.
now. Aspect Host is good.
I really
prefer
like it.
Warhost. I think Aspect Host is probably the most popular. Anyway, it's by the by.
But Aspect Host is more popular because the units are more cool. And you can use the units in a more efficient, cool way.
Elder's an odd one because Elder, I think, sits in a place where the units that are cool happen to also be the best and have the best rules. Because there's definitely units out there that are cool that don't have great rules.
But that's Warhammer. I think Games Workshop's realised that. And that's what they're doing. Right? The units that are cool have the best rules.
You reckon?
Yeah. So, intercessors are sticky on objectives and they can shoot bolt guns. You kind of have to take them, but they're not exciting. They're battle line and boring, right? Victrix Honor Guard, the cool new guys with the big banner and the cool guy who has the cool sword and all the characters who join them, and they've all got cool artificer armor and cool swords. They've got all of the rules, right? Look at Blood Angels, right? Same deal. What's cool? Sandguard, all the rules. Cool characters, all the rules. That's why named characters are way better than unnamed characters, because they're cool. Unnamed characters aren't cool, because every time Games Workshop writes a book about a new character, they don't give it to one of their mainline authors, they give it to someone else, because they're like, no one cares about new characters, they want old, cool characters.
I think I live in a weird space today where I want my named characters to be as cool as, not more cool for reference, but as cool as some named characters. I want to be able to take an autarch.
So the problem is, right, is that now, I think we'll get them next edition, maybe 12th, right, is I think we will see a reintegration of old character units that went away. So autarchs on bikes, you know.
Please.
Archons on bikes, you know.
That's the thing I miss the most, is autarchs on bikes. With my bike
so
list.
people can make cool stuff. Remember librarians with jump packs,
Yeah.
captains on bikes. I think they will all come back.
Do you think Victrix Guard having the best rules and Sandguard having the best rules is we've realised the cool stuff needs to have the best rules, or we've realised that makes them sell?
Both. Why can't it be both?
It can be both.
Because you're a business. At the end of the day, they are a business and they want to sell models. And what doesn't really so Games Workshop, when you start a new business, a new sales business, right? And you want to say, I want to sell Games Workshop product, they make you buy, to begin with, all of the battle line shit.
Not true.
Like most of it though, they're like, have intercessors, have orc boys.
They make you buy I only know this because I literally had the phone call with them yesterday.
Yeah.
They make you buy their bestsellers range,
Yeah.
which is everything that is in their top. I don't know how many products there is. Things that sell the best.
Yeah.
So, and that's the requirement. The requirement is you have to have their bestsellers range. It has to be in stock and it has to be available.
When
on
is
a
that?
shelf.
When do they decide? When does that get updated? The best top 100
Every March and November.
every March and
So
November.
it's about to get updated.
So that might change.
I know this because I had the call yesterday. It's the only reason why.
I don't believe for a second that intercessors and Redemptor Dreadnoughts are part of the top 100.
I believe they are.
Because you never see them.
I think we don't see them very often, but you see them a lot.
Really?
Yeah. Intercessors are the ones that little Timmy's going home with quite often. The
Is that
basic
'cause they're
Battleline
just
Space
cheap?
Marine. Yeah, because you get 10 Marines in a box and they're quite easy. Honestly, I think that you probably... Redemptors are fucking everywhere. And Intercessors, I think...
Is that because Games Workshop forced them to be everywhere?
Well, I mean, they put them in everything, didn't
Yeah.
they, for a while?
They're like, if you see this enough, you'll start to think it's cool.
Hang on, I'll tell you what I can do, Jay.
You have a look. I am desperate for a wee. I've had like 3 cups of coffee since I've
Have
been
you?
here. Yeah.
Okay. If I go into my
moo.
inbox, because I don't think this is private information.
They're in all the shops.
So if I go and find my email, here it is. Is that the one? Nope, that's not the one. This one. I have on me what is in the bestsellers range, chat, right? And haven't at any point been told that this is under NDA. So I can tell you exactly what's in the bestsellers foundation range, right? In terms of boxes of models, because there's other stuff in there. I won't go through all the hobby accessories and the paints and stuff like that. I'll wait for him to come back though, because I think that he needs to hear it, because I don't think it's what he thinks it is. There's a bunch of paints. There's like 20 best-selling paints. There's rattle cans. There's glue. There's dice. There's paintbrushes, etc. And I actually honestly question whether this is in fact bestsellers or not. But they told me yesterday it's data-driven, and they never lie, do they? So it must be true. It has to be right. But I had the call. Fun fact and interesting for Hobby House. I had the call with Games Workshop yesterday, and I just have to sign the paperwork today. So bang in. That'll be us getting on board very, very soon. My only slight concern is I'd imagine that as a channel our support will get a lot less because we'll be a trade account as well. So I'm waiting for you before I read out what's in the range, just so
The full range.
the bestsellers range, not the full range.
I don't think this is hidden knowledge because you could walk into.
No,
any
I don't think it's hidden knowledge necessarily, because you have these point of sales in shops, and what a lot. So you have to stock this. So what a lot of shops do, the smaller shops, is they only stock this as their bestsellers range and nothing else.
Which I think is a mistake, because the amount of times I've gone into a freshly opened shop and I'm like, oh, I'll go and support these people, and then I walk in there and I'm like, oh, you've got nothing worth buying.
It might be a mistake, but you also have to remember this product is not cheap to buy into.
Yeah.
It's quite expensive, as I'm learning. So I won't go through all the accessories and shit, glues and stuff. You've got the Warhammer 40k introductory set,
Yeah.
right? You've got the Getting Started with Warhammer 40k, which I think is a magazine. There's the Space Marines and 40k paint set, so Space Marines plus paints, a 40k paint set. You've got then, so in terms of actual models, Joe, we've got Chaos Space Marine Legionnaires, World Eaters Khorne Berserkers, Chaos Space Marine Raptors, Chaos Space Marine Terminators, Thousand Suns Rubric Marines, Mephitic Blight Haulers, Astra Militarum battle tank, Lehman Russ battle tank, Cadian shock troops, Bladeguard vets, Primaris intercessors, Redemptor dreadnought, Eliminators, Necron Immortals, Necron Lotus heavy destroyers, Orc boys, Orc runt herd and Gretchen, Tyranid hive tyrant stroke the Swarmlord, Sisters of Battle squad, Retribute squad, Imperial Knight Questoris, Imperial Knight Armigers, Tau Pathfinder team, Tau Stealth Suits, Tau Broadside, Tau Commander, Adeptus Mechanicus Scutari, Custodian Wardens, Kill Team starter set, that's a lie, Warhammer Age of Sigmar introductory set, the Stormcast paint set, the Warhammer Age of Sigmar paint set, Spearhead Seraphon, Slaves to Darkness Chaos Warriors, Slaves to Darkness Demon Prince, Cities of Sigmar Free Guild Fusiliers, Seraphon Lancers, Gloomspite Gits Moon Clan Stabbers, Gloomspite Gits Squig Hero, Auric War Clans Ard Boys, Skaven Warp Spark Weapon Battery, Soulblight Gravelord, Deadwalker Zombies, Nighthaunt Spirit Hosts, Stormcast Eternals, Dracothian Guard, Maggot King of Nurgle, Nurglings, and Citadel Skulls. So, like, if you think, for example, Tau, no Fire Warriors,
Yeah.
no battle line unit there. If you think about currently Votan, not a single product, not one.
Poor Votan.
So they're not a bestseller. But so they don't have all the battle line units.
Yeah.
Now that is subject to change. They are updating that this month, supposedly. So their bestsellers might be different. But if you think about it, there's Necron Immortals, no Necron Warriors, which is interesting.
Yeah. Is that because Necron Warriors are like everywhere?
It's just because Mortals are more popular than Warriors, aren't they? Because they're tougher and they've got better guns, essentially, I guess.
You very rarely. I don't know. I suppose because Eddie's not here very often, as I never see. Don't feel like I see Immortals anymore at events.
Yeah. Stealth Suits better. They fuck over the unit. They haven't fucked it. They have fucked Tau players over. They haven't fucked the unit over.
I don't know if I think
They fucked Tau players over. I've got 3 Stealth Suits. Cool. They come in 5s now.
yeah.
So you've got to buy.
So you got 9 already.
Yeah. So you need 15. So you've got to buy 6 more, and they now come in boxes of 5. Now you could buy 2 old packs of 3 whilst they're still in stock, and you'll get away with it. They have fucked Tau players over a bit, Joe. It's a fact. They have. The one thing I'll give them in their defence is that the new models piss all over the old ones. They're so much nicer. And I wouldn't be against when they're not a fucking kill team box. If I was a Tau player, I would be like, I want to buy 3 boxes of new ones anyway. You did it with Gene Stealers. You went, I can't deal with the old Gene Stealers now the new ones are out.
Yeah. I think if you're a Tau player, you probably already own 9, right? So you could just pick up some second-hand ones to fill it up to 10 and get a new box.
Did they need to go to 5s? Is an interesting question.
I think they were too efficient at 3.
You reckon?
I think as a unit, they were way too efficient because they were cheap and they just kind of just hid in places. Right?
I mean, we almost never saw Paddy take less than 3 times 3.
Yeah.
Which would normally lead us to believe with what he's like with maths, that they are hyper efficient.
They're super efficient, right? Now, they can't fall back and guide, which I think is fair, but they can guide whilst they're in combat. So they've actually balanced the unit. Because they've got pistol, they can guide in combat. But the trade-off is you're still in combat, right?
So you can fall back and live.
Yeah, or you can stand still and guide. And I think that's fair.
Yeah, okay.
Because when you were falling back guiding, your opponent couldn't fucking do anything about it.
Yeah.
It was a real feel bad. Because people would be like, what do you mean you could just fall back and do it? Like you're running away. You can't shoot, but you can point a laser pen at something.
Yeah, you can laser designate me whilst you're legging it.
Yeah.
Over the shoulder.
Yeah. So I think it was way too good. I don't think they've screwed over anyone. They're nicer mod. Like look at the new Deathwatch stuff. You know, no one's saying that Deathwatch got screwed over as a unit, not an army. Right, I'm just going to clarify that before you all start wailing. As a unit, I'm like, I don't care that the old Deathwatch kill team went away because those new ones are sexy as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't care for Deathwatch anyway, so I don't really know what's happened with their rules there, to be honest with you. I honestly didn't know that the stealth suit rules have changed, if I'm honest. I am struggling to keep up at the moment whilst I'm building this fucking shop.
I only learned it because I was watching the Art of War video. Mainly because Tom shared a are short of them reacting to the Victrix Honor Guard.
Yeah.
Um,
Specifically, the Honor Guard combination with what's his name, Ventress.
yeah. Well, not just Ventress, just their rules in general. Like, I don't think Oath of Moment should be +1 to wound anymore. I can go away now. I think if you're Iron Hands,
Oh, you can upset Toby.
right, Raven Guard,
Raven on.
and White Scars, you probably still need it. But the other, I don't think Salamanders probably need it so much anymore. I don't think that like Ultramarines definitely don't need it.
You don't reckon? Why?
Because like they've just got so many rules. I think Oath of Moment needs to go away as well. In general, I think they need to get rid of Oath of Moment and give every Space Marine chapter its own version of what Black Templars have. So like Blood Angels, instead of Oath, they should just be like +1 strength for attack on the charge.
I personally am not an Oath of Moment fan.
Yeah.
Because it's rerolls.
Yeah.
And I would prefer like Oath being an Ultramarines rule, perhaps fine, but Oath being in every Space Marine rule, I don't know. Although we do go then into the simplified argument, all Space Marines have Oath, so it's much easier to play with and against them because all Space Marines have Oath. I don't know. I don't like it, but I don't like it simply from a rerolls perspective.
Because now we're in a situation where we're like, you've got different versions of Oath.
Yeah.
Right. To try and promote some level of balance, and it's like just remove Oath now. You know, if you can't, if Oath has to be different things for different people, then it's a flawed mechanic.
Yeah, I agree.
And thus needs to be changed.
Right, let's see what you guys think. We are currently sat on a lowly 27 members. Joe's going to start getting a complex because since he's come back, not a single target hit.
Oh well.
You can say, oh, well, till it comes to payday, Joe, then it's a problem, isn't it? So if you really want to support us, if you think 10th edition is great and you love it, gift 5 memberships. And if you think 10th edition is shit and you hate it, gift 5 memberships. Right, Nick, thank you for the $5. He says, the app is generationally game-changing and will be the greatest legacy of 10th edition. This from someone who ducked out from the Pivot FAQ until Jan 2025. The app is generationally game-changing to the point now that the app is so good that people that play things like Horus Heresy or Crusade are going, why haven't Games Workshop made an app? This is what they've done.
I know why, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say.
Do kickbacks work for you if we use vouchers on Element? I assume so if you follow the link, but I don't know. I think so. I'm not sure. Thanks, Farmer George.
Basically, I think the reason why Horus Heresy doesn't have an app is because they didn't know that they're allowed to ask for one.
Fuck off.
I talked to someone
Okay.
that was in a meeting. I'm not going to say who, but there was a meeting and different heads were like, why haven't we got an app? And then the app team were like, we didn't ask for one. Didn't make you one. And they were like, we didn't know we could ask.
Games Workshop, left hand, right hand, eh?
Yeah, and I think that's just again, the lack of communication with Inside Games Workshop.
Yeah, Chapter Master Naylor says, I've been struggling to get back into the game after not playing since October 2021. Join us, sir. Come and hang out here. We make it fun, I think, mostly. Unless Joe's playing Paddy. And it's less
People
fun.
like it when I play Paddy because I'm miserable.
Yeah, they like watching you get fucked.
Yeah.
So
maybe I should change my name to Joey Blue.
Yeah, we should. That's a t-shirt.
Yeah. Your
face on Bonnie's body.
Yeah.
Always getting fucked.
And then on a sofa surrounded by loads of paddies.
That's a Photoshop that one of the things has got to make happen.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rossonero, for 20 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Rossonero, keeping the channel lights on. This is not going how I expected it to. I hope that you... I hope that you win a giveaway at your local store that gives away every release for a year of your favourite game system.
Cool. I'm into it. Because of Dragons, thank you for the $20. Ultimately, I think it has been a success. I've enjoyed the addition and how clean the basic mechanics are now. The only thing I don't like is how many minis you need to play a 1,000-point game, never mind a 2,000-point one. So the barrier to entry, rules-wise, potentially has got better from what you're suggesting. However, in terms of cost to put a 2,000-point army together, that has got significantly worse for the most part.
Is it?
Yeah. Space Marine's like a horde army now. You need to put loads on the table to get 2,000 points.
Right. I'm not making friends today. I've decided that. So I like 40k.
No.
A lot.
Shut the front door.
And people are going to start calling me a Games Workshop apologist, but fuck it. When you start, one thing I like about both Age of Sigmar and 40k is that there are lots of different factions, right? And when you choose to write an army list or choose an army, the amount of models you put in said army is now part of that choice, right? So you could choose to do Space Marines and have a whole bunch of like loads of MSU really cheap units, right? Or you could play something like, I don't know, Blood Angels and just run 18 Sangard, Dante and 2 captains. And then you're kind of like 27 models, that's 21 models, right? Or you could take Custodes, or you could take Knights and have very few models, right? Like you can build armies that are not many models. I think the game is in a really good position now where the points are appropriate for how you want to build your army. There are some armies like Eldar where I go, I wish I could take even more cool stuff, but I can't. Or like when I try and build Chaos Space Marine armies, I want to take all the good stuff and I can't. I have to choose what I can and can't put in my army. I think, and also like, I don't want to play a small game of war. I want to play a big game of war with many models of war, right? If I wanted few models, I'd play Kill Team or Spearhead or Combat Patrol. But I want to simulate a battle, not a small street skirmish.
What do you think, chat? Is the price point for 2,000 points on average too high or not? Tell me what you think, chat. I'm interested because I am in a privileged position where I can, for the longest time, Games Workshop has sent us stuff. That seems to have slowed right down, but they have. And at the same time, I can business expense it because we literally need this stuff to be able to get armies on the table for you guys and entertain you on the channel, right? We always talk about the Element Link money goes into more stuff for the channel, and more units for the armies. I'm quite lucky there. I still personally think that the price point has got rather high, and I think that their personal profit margin is massive. And if you think about it, right, it's somewhat backed up by the fact, somewhat backed up doesn't mean 100% backed up or hard evidence here for reference before you all shoot me. But it's somewhat backed up by the fact that they keep putting their prices up because, you know, everything in the world's getting more expensive, and then continue to post quarter-on-quarter record profits and give tons of that money out to staff. Now, I'm at no point ever going to complain about them giving that money to staff. Absolutely not. I think that's probably the right move. However, if they continue to post record profits, you do have to ask that question, did we as the consumer really need to eat the price hike? Because you're making record profits. So it's definitely a point to argue that we didn't need to eat that price hike. You as the company could have eaten that price hike, keeping my point of entry lower overall, or where it was, rather than increasing it. So I think the price point of entry to this hobby is quite high. And I'm very interested to talk to them at the moment. I started the conversation yesterday and understand how and what it's like onboarding new people into the hobby, or how much success they have with it. Because I bet little Timmy goes, I fucking love a Space Marine. That's really cool. And then Mum goes, so how much is a box of intercessors and a tank? And then goes, what? and she's spending nearly £100. At this point, she's not bought glue, snips, files, paint.
That's always been the case of the hobby, right? Getting children, young people, getting people into this hobby where the people playing the game aren't the people paying for it has always been hard, right? When Toad worked for GW for a bit, didn't he? Yeah. So he would have experienced this. Obviously, like everyone that's ever worked at Games Workshop has experienced this, right? I worked in GW during end of 6th, a lot of 7th, right? And so we're going back many, many years. People would come in with their children and they'd get excited and you'd show them the starter box set, which was like 80 quid at the time, I think. And you'd be, there's 2 forces here. I know. Your 2 children here, they could both have a half and they could both play a game. And they're like, cool, it's 80 quid. And they're like, awesome. I'm like, but.
Yeah, but. The famous but.
But. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, but you are going to need clippers to get them off the sprue. You're going to need to buy your children knives. They didn't have the mold line scraper then to clean those models up that you've got. You're going to have to buy them glue, right? And they're like, how much is that? 20 quid? Because Games Workshop, right? And then you're like, and then you have to paint the models. And they're like, well, can I just use any paint? I'm like, no, you can't. And they're like, we've got Airfix paint at home. And I'm like, no, because those paints are shit. So you have to buy a rattle can, and that's like 8 quid, or you have to buy paints now. So that 80 quid starter box set isn't £80. It's 110, 120 quid minimum, and that's with a minimal amount of paints, right? And that's not including basing. So you've got to go buy sand and PVA glue, right? And then more paints to do that, and flock. It's always been a problem in the hobby, right? And I think, yes, the hobby is way more expensive now, and it is kind of, let's be honest, a luxury of wealth in a way, right?
I mean,
but there's no reason why you can't have an army on the cheap as well, right? I buy a lot of stuff secondhand. Like, I go and find people that have just got models or kits that they've bought they're not using.
Well, he bagels them.
And I'll meet them in some woods, right?
Joey Bluing it again.
Yeah, and like Facebook Marketplace, they do the war boots.
Yeah.
Right. You can do this. You don't have to buy direct from Games Workshop, right? Right. But that's life. That's why M&S, Morrison's, Tesco's, Aldi exist, right? They all sell the same products. They all sell food that you can buy, right? But you choose to buy them from specific places.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I was up very early this morning to come in.
Life is mad expensive at the moment.
Life is mad expensive
right?
at the moment.
And
as a man building a shop,
and we're all hobbyists that like to complain, right? And Games Workshop provide us with the thing that we like to do to get through life.
Yeah.
Right? We want it to be cheaper, but they are a business. Like, Games Workshop is essentially building like a city in Nottingham, right?
Yes.
Like, they've bought more land.
One of their
They're
buildings,
essentially like turning into a fucking airport.
One of their buildings is up for rent as well, or up for purchase.
They're like literally like building huge sections of warehousing.
Also, Joe just said the word war boot.
Yeah.
So if you all need to gift a membership now, so we can cover the legal costs for when they come after us.
I think like
Because you said the word war boot out loud. You can't say the word war boot because you'll get sued for saying the word war boot.
Yeah. Also, right, people don't like it when I say this, is that Games Workshop's also making stuff cheaper, but they're not talking about it.
Also, chat, there's loads of grey names in there. So if you want to get these grey names, grab them by the throat and drag them into the Great Hall.
Paulie G says it's no more expensive than other serious hobbies. Playing guitar, playing golf, driving go-karts, whatever, it all costs. Do any of you own a horse?
So,
right? Those things are fucking extortionate.
I've always argued this point. I've always argued this point, and I will continue to argue this point. Pound for pound, I think Warhammer 40k, for me personally, is an incredible value item for the amount of time it takes me to put things together, to get paint on them, to use them on the tabletop. And even if I don't paint them, even if I give them to you and you build and paint them and I use them on the tabletop, the amount of time I get out of that product, I actually think pound per hour of entertainment is very good value.
Yeah.
I also think that, for me personally, Warhammer 40k is one of those things that's actually pretty good on the whole for my mental health. And I don't think I could put necessarily a value on that, right? I genuinely, I think that it's such good value. And I'm not going to I don't think I'm going to ever argue that I think its value is good, especially considering you can buy from independents at 15 to 20% off the retail. So a £100 box isn't a £100 box. How many of you see a brand new Combat Patrol and actually buy it direct from Games Workshop in this country? You just don't. You'll go to Element or Wayland or Hobby Workshop or Firestorm or hopefully soon us, and you'll pay, it's £100, you'll pay 80 quid.
Yeah.
Because why would you pay £100? So it's not like their RRP cost isn't even where that price break is in the UK, because you go to independents. I don't know what it's like abroad. I don't know if you get similar price breaks in independent retailers in America and stuff. I'm not sure. And I think that pound for pound, if you are sitting there building your models, painting your models, using them on the tabletop with your friends, hours and hours and hours of gaming, I think it's great value personally. Yeah. I still don't think that stops it from being a very high point of entry if you're starting the hobby. If you're starting out from scratch and you've not got experience and you want to buy an army, even if you're talking a low model count 20, 30 model Space Marine army with paints and snips, etc., I still think it's very expensive.
Yeah, but I think that's the same for every hobby.
Yeah, probably.
Right? Like I said,
but you can
you got to buy a horse if you want to ride a horse.
You don't have to buy a horse.
You can rent a horse.
Right. You can go to my dad works at a golf course.
Yeah.
Right?
He's got a horse.
No. He uses it instead of a golf cart.
Yeah.
he just rides around the golf course top off naked. But you can go to the course. You can rent clubs and go into the driving range, and you can have a go at swinging a golf bat for 20 quid.
Yeah.
Right. It's significantly more difficult to do that with Warhammer.
But right, we know as hobbyists, spending 20 quid a pop to swing a golf racket around, right? Like, it's not how it stays, though, is it?
No, and that's why we're going to have downstairs. We're going to have demo tables. We're going to have models that you can snip off and paint. So you can have a go at all this shit before you spend a penny.
Games Workshop gives away free models.
Exactly.
Right? Like Games Workshop does those things, but I think if anyone that wants to get into hobbies, you can rent a hobby, but how long do you rent a hobby before you go, actually, I want to get involved. I'm now going to buy my diesel-powered remote control car, and all the embellishments. I'm now going to buy all my golf sticks and a bag to put my sticks in, and all the really posh clothes to
golf sticks,
to kind of wander around in.
The twat hat and with the car,
I know. Talk about stocks, tax, whatever the fuck golf people talk. Boating. Got to buy a boat if you want to do boats lots, right?
Will you be stocking other paint lines that I'm painting? Yeah, so we've spoken to Army Painter, Vallejo, Two Thin Coats, Colour Forge, Gamer Grass. I think there's another one that Toby's looked into.
Account says, bring back single plastic blister packs, £3 and marine, for example. Guess what? You can, in theory, do an entire Space Marine army for free. Every Games Workshop store gives away a free Space Marine to build and paint.
Right.
Just go on a tour. Right?
I don't think that's free though.
Yeah, but you could just go in, build one.
I left my hoodie
it is real cold.
I left my hoodie in the downstairs.
I decided not to put the heating on because I was like, oh, the lights will warm us up in a minute.
I thought the chat would warm us up with their members, Joe, and they're not.
Yeah. You can do, so there are armies that aren't popular, right? Games Workshop change rules, things go in and out of popularity, stuff becomes more expensive as it becomes more popular. But guess what? When something becomes more popular, or when something becomes more popular, something becomes less popular, and they get cheap. Do you remember what happened when they changed the rules for Death Guard after their Codex release? They were all for sale. Guess what happens when everyone's trying to sell everything at the same time? It crashes the price. So I was talking to a guy at Warhammer Worlds with the Swamp Goblins, the Crawl Boys, right? He bought his entire army for 120 quid. Because there's just so many. He just bought them all brand new, or like on sprue, sometimes not in boxes, right? Off eBay, off of Facebook Marketplace, like wherever, because they're everywhere. Because there's so many of them out there and no one's playing them. Yeah. Right? You can do that, right? You can do it. It's by choosing to play the more popular armies, you do have to spend more money, but you can get armies for cheap. I think we need to do a series on, like, you'll have to foot the bill for this.
Of course, yeah.
Right.
Give
everyone on the team 120 quid.
Okay.
Right?
I'm listening. This is actually quite interesting.
120 quid, right? Go away, buy, build and paint a 2,000 point army.
I don't know if that's possible.
Isn't it? All right, 150 quid, right?
Liam, who buys the models, says it's expensive. Joe, who gets many models bought for him, says it's not so bad.
Just do what I do. Just mooch. No, but I reckon you can do it.
I like the concept.
So, like, I can't remember the name of the channel. I was watching Mikey, and he was talking about it. There was a guy who had... There's two people that had 500 quid, right? One guy bought a car, one guy bought and painted an army, and they tried to see who got the most value out of it. And whoever saved the most amount of money got more points. Whoever had the most value out of it got more points. Right? I think there is a...
I like the concept of that series.
Yeah.
I do. It's very Top Gear.
Like you can literally like have shaky video footage of like Paddy like sucking off someone in the barracks for some like secondhand Warhammer they bought like years ago, you know?
Yeah.
Or like Brom down like doing like a shady deal in a trench coat with someone.
His big grey trench coat.
Yeah.
He's back tonight.
He is.
I can't fucking
in
wait.
his trench coat and his jack boots.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
teeny tiny moustache.
I think there's a series in how can you play. What we do is we figure out a price point, we get the armies, we buy and build the armies, and then we take them to a GT.
I'm not against that concept.
Yeah.
Let me get this fucking shop open.
Yeah.
And I'm not against that concept.
So yeah, the premise of the series: open a shop, buy all at cost price. Boom.
That's just not. You're not going to do it for 120 quid, Joe.
No.
I'm looking at the cost prices.
Yeah.
You are not. Oh, sorry.
It's kicked me.
It's all right. I as a concept for a show and a concept for a series, I'm into something along that. I love that idea of some kind of series. We were all given £500 to buy a car. That sort of shit, but for Warhammer instead.
Yeah.
I like it.
Because I think it's doable.
I think it's. Does that money count? Is it just towards models in the army though?
Yeah, so it doesn't include paints and stuff like that.
Yeah, or biostrip.
Or biostrip.
Yeah. A lot of.
Yeah. I think there's a way of doing it. Like it says like Combat Patrol magazines. Just go and pick up a job lot of Combat Patrol magazines. You can do it. Right? I know plenty of our followers that sat on beds filled with them.
Yeah, that's what their bed's made out of.
Yeah,
they don't have
Combat
Patrol
Patrol
magazines. They're just
magazines.
made out of Combat Patrol magazines.
Yeah.
Does anyone? Here's an interesting question. How many of you in chat buy White Dwarf? Can you just put a 1 in chat if you buy White Dwarf?
Would we be able to? Are you going to sell Combat Patrol, Spearhead, that stuff downstairs, the magazines?
If I can.
I think you should go from Hitachi.
If I can.
Because I'd buy it. I'd get you to do it so I could come in and
if
buy
I can
them.
sell them, I'll sell them. But because we've been told we get 3 White Dwarfs a month given to us to sell.
Yeah.
And he's like, but you can have more if you think you'll sell more. I'm like, does people buy White Dwarf anymore? I don't know. Because I don't. So I'm just,
Like, I was going to buy one for my flight to America.
Okay.
And then and in the shop, I literally flicked through it, and I was like, "Oh, this is shit," and put it back on the shelf. I was like, "This
So
is
it
not."
very much depends on what's in it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been saying for a while, the free mini of the month that Games Workshop have in stores should go onto White Dwarf.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, I used to buy certain magazines because they have bits on.
My first White Dwarf was the one, I think it was like a Chaos Warrior on the front, but it had a free metal Necron Warrior on it.
Oh, wow.
That was my first White Dwarf model.
I remember buying motorcycle magazines when I was like 15, and you get fucking little like
Johnny's on it.
full,
Yeah.
like a magazine through, but
Yeah. An aerosol can filled with exhaust fumes.
no, it was like brake reservoir, like covers and stuff like that, and neck warmers that I was 15, I was never going to use, but you know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Larry Panner, for the $10. To me, 10th versus 9th was 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I think the advancement on things like terrain and rule blow and secondaries was great, but individual armies and models are less interesting.
Oh.
Armies are less interesting, Jay. What do you think to that?
I don't agree. Because I think it's I think now it's a mini game in itself, right? Making an army, because like I think I struggled. I had a long period of time during this edition where I did struggle with it,
Okay.
and I was really depressed with it because I wasn't enjoying it at all.
Yeah.
Right. And I think I got to a point, and I think some people haven't got to this point yet, but they need to if they want to enjoy it. I think you have to learn to play the game how they want you to play the game. I think a lot of players are trying to get like a square peg in a round hole. They're like, this is what I want the game to be, and this is what the game actually is.
I had that experience when I went to Mikey's big tournament.
Yeah.
So I built a fun Eldar list out of just shit that I liked because I thought that's what I could do. And I went there and I got smashed for 3 games and was like, I don't want to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't compete. Despite the fact I was just genuinely falling down the table,
Yeah.
I was still getting bummed in every matchup. And I was like, I can't just take shit I like and play the game because I haven't got things that do certain secondaries and I haven't got things that hold objectives and et cetera, et cetera. So I had that experience.
Yeah, so I got to a point where I was like, I need to play the game how they want me to play the game. I will take the units that I do need to put in my army for my army to function, but I will still make sure that there are things in this army that I find fun and enjoyable. And after that decision, I started to enjoy the game more. And then when I was enjoying the game more, I found I was doing better.
Okay.
And the more I was doing better, the more I was enjoying it.
Yeah. That's reasonable.
Yeah, because I feel like
no one likes being kicked in the dick.
I think a
constantly.
lot of people butt heads with the game system because they have a kind of false memory of a time that was. Right? The game was so beautiful when I was younger, when life was easier and I didn't have a job and have to pay taxes or rent. Right? It was so much better back then when my life was free. Right? Now I'm an adult, it seems so much darker and harder to play this game kind of thing. I think we want to feel the same as we did when we were younger playing this game, but we can't. So I think I think now, so if you play the game how Games Workshop has given you the rule set and you play within the rule system they've created that the community's kind of reinforced, you will have a lot more fun.
I don't know. I kind of have a bit of.
If not, go play Crusade. Those people playing Crusade are having a fucking whale.
I kind of agree with Dan a fair amount, to be honest with you, because I had that experience, and I don't want to have to. I do because I'm with you and I'm with Dan at the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't want to have to think about units to do actions and think about units to screen out my backfield and think about units to infiltrate and move block and I want to just take the cool shit that I like. That's what I want to do. So I'm with Dan on that one. And I think there's lots of stuff now where I don't want to have to go, well, I need 25% of my points to be action monkeys and things that can go and do recover assets. I don't want to do that shit. I don't fucking like recovering assets. But if you want to stand a chance of getting points, you do have to do that. And that because that directly impacts your enjoyment. I agree with that. I also think that some characters are just dull. And you said to yourself before that quite often in 40k, a lot of characters feel more like the old sergeants.
Yeah.
They feel less characterful and more like just a unit upgrades. And then the unit dies and the character goes, I'm useless now. I can't do the thing that I could do before.
Yeah.
Because my unit's dead and suddenly I've forgotten how to fight because all my friends have died. And I feel that pain, but I am with you.
But
the sandbox of rules that we have is the sandbox that we have, and I have to operate within it. So I can't go, I hate all those things, I'm going to ignore them. Oh God, I can't believe I'm still not having fun.
Yeah. There's a lot of people out there that complain that the game's really, really bad. And I feel like sometimes people take bad armies on purpose because it kind of reinforces how they feel. The army does shit, so they're like, well, this just proves my point that the game's shit. But at the same time, like talking about how characters don't work don't work sometimes. Because when their unit dies, they become less good because they're not losing anymore. Like, people aren't really talking about this so much now, but Games Workshop's changing the rules on that.
They are changing the rules.
Right, so many characters now, the rules coming out for the last couple of months have said this unit, when this model is leading a unit.
The one for me, the one that really also got me was like librarians and psychic hoods.
Yeah.
So suddenly, when a librarian's unit dies, he forgets how to stop psychic attacks with his brain.
Yeah.
He basically stops being a librarian, which annoyed me. It should be noted, I can still have fun with 10th and do. I just think that aspect is worse than the end of 9th. Interesting. I don't disagree with you, to be fair. I also don't fully disagree with Joe. I think you're both right, if that makes sense. Thank you, the Springies, for the 1 gifted membership.
Thank you, the Springies.
And thank you, Scooter, for 5 gifted memberships. We're on 38 right now. Yeah. It'd be great to get to at least 50 so that there's less pressure on Brom to perform later.
Schooner's smashing it up in the bolt action world at the moment.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, he's just gifted 5. He's smashing it up in the chat as well.
Yeah. I hope that you become the captain of Great Britain, you know.
Does he get to walk around, though, saying, I am the captain now?
Yeah. And you're formally allowed to slap people with a white glove.
Just don't do it with a terrible accent, because that could get you in trouble.
No, you're British. He's part of the Commonwealth, right? So he has to put on the accent of the country he's in and point at things that he wants.
Cool. Unhinged machinist. Thank you for the 12 euros. I really don't like how there is no points tweaking within a list. The amount of times when my list is ready and I am missing between 20 to 50 points makes me go crazy. I really miss points per model. I don't even care about lack of war gear. I'm aware this is a personal opinion rather than a fact. I personally preferred it when adding a plasma pistol cost you 5 points so that you had to make those choices, and actually it wasn't so simple as just take the best fucking weapons. I preferred that. I preferred it when there was a choice to try and squeeze the unit into 2,000 points. At the very least, I'd like to see points per model back, and I don't think this one will be difficult and the app should be able to handle it, rather than points per number of models.
I think we're going to get points per model back.
You reckon?
Because, like, when you look at Blade Guard are 4, 5, 10. No, 4, 5, 9, 10.
Blade Guard?
Not Blade Guard, Sword Brethren.
Yes.
Because a 5-man box of Sword Brethren builds a Castellan as well. But, so you can have 2 units of 4. No, it's the 9, 10. So you choose, there's no 8. And I was like, why isn't there an 8? Because if you've got 2 units of 4 and you've built 2 Castellans, then you're only going to have 8. So you have to have 9. But I'm like, when you're at 4, 5, 9, 10, just go any number between 4 and 10.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, Meganobs are the same, Custodes are similar, Harlequins are near on, like, they're like 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you know?
Yeah. Just have minimum unit number is this many points, plus 1 model, this many points, done.
Yeah. And then all upgrades in the squad are just one, like, for every 5 in the unit or for every 3 in the unit. Just go that way. And it's not that hard, you know?
I don't think it is, but that annoys me as well. That's one of my biggest bugbears. I've learned to kind of ignore it now, and it doesn't bother me at the moment, but it really fucking gripped me to start with, and I don't like this new point system. But again, I'm aware that when I complain about this, I could just go play Old World or Heresy, and that all that stuff exists.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. I want to play Eldar and 40k, because I like winning. Starpoint, thank you for the $2. Warcom can be good. They just need to not talk rules or get a guest in to write rules either, because that obviously clearly goes wrong. Also, Mason, thank you for the $5. I am surprised White Dwarf hasn't just become Warcom articles. Well, Warcom is kind of modern day White Dwarf, though, right? Which is part of White Dwarf's problem, because the rate in which White Dwarf is published versus the rate in which Warcom is published, it's hard for White Dwarf to give you anything kind of interesting. Yeah. So this is why they have to stick missions and stuff in it. Do you think
White Dwarf is just servicing the old guard at this point and children?
Maybe. I don't. Does it exist often in like places that aren't Games Workshops? I know you used to be able to get in newsagents and stuff. I don't know if you still can.
You can still get my local newsagent, my local Spar has it.
Does it?
Yeah.
Because it must sell. Why does it stop stocking it?
I mean, it's selling. Like,
it must
they're rotating them. Like, I think there are. Like, there's a club that's actually like a D&D Warhammer club that's opened in Shaftesbury now, like every Tuesday night. And I'm like, oh, it's on Streamlining. Just message me like, move it and I'll come. Do you know who I am?
A man who can't even get 40 members, Joe.
There's 2 of us here.
It's 38.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did fine last night on my own.
Yeah? Well, clearly...
It's got to be you, innit?
Clearly, you at home is all the people want.
Evidently.
Yeah.
It saves me a fortune on your wages in the studio.
Yeah.
And you better go play D&D.
I'm not that much of a turbo nerd to play D&D.
I've never played D&D.
Yeah.
I've never really had a desire to either, to be fair.
They are weird.
Who are? What, D&D people?
Players, yeah.
Are they? I've never...
Yeah. I like Critical Role, but that's because they're like cool and having like...
That's like the people that did the videoing about it type thing.
The Vox, yeah, they like so the cartoon series is based on like their online series, but they're all like famous voice actors and they can kind of like get away with it. When it's like people like Eddie who's like, oh, I'm a mystical rat, and I'm like, no, you are in real life, but
you are a mystical rat. But the audio is terrible.
Yeah, love you, Eddie.
Andy, thank you for the 1 gifted membership. Ben, thank you for upgrading to Skull Tier, you're a legend. And Andy then goes, for $5 Canadian, we should return to Force Org and special characters unlocking unique army compositions, e.g. Belial making Deathwing battle line, 1 out of 2. The second half of that is, it would allow a lot more diverse builds for each faction and people can still be narrative and competitive. Also, each Marine chapter should be its own book.
I think at 11th edition, the chapters will be there. I reckon there'll be a Space Marine Codex that will have no named characters in it. It will just be the generic Space Marine units. And then each chapter will have its own supplement. Or every chapter might just have its own codex and be its own separate thing. I think they would be better off having each chapter as its own codex, because then you can point things accordingly. Because like Blood Angels in Intercessor Jump Packs are way better than Ultramarine ones, for instance, right?
Because they get better rules.
And then you can remove units and to make it more narrative.
You're right there.
I need a wee again, and I'm also like hiccuping.
You're all sat there, all like tucked
I'm
up
cold as well. You put the air. You've made it colder in here.
I haven't. The heating's on. I can literally feel it.
You're just blowing cold air.
I didn't want
me.
to put the heating on because it's expensive and I don't have any money. But
it's Begmore.
I'm trying, Joe. It's not working. Thank you, Nick, for the $5. Joe's quite right. If the loudest folk on Tinternet were right about complexity being king, then Heresy and Old would be mainline. I don't agree. I strongly disagree with that statement. I take your point. I see the point you're making, but why don't people play? Why don't a lot of people play Legions of Imperialis? Because it's Space Marines on Space Marines. The biggest complaint about Heresy in general is Space Marines and Space Marines. The biggest complaint about Old World is the fact that it's all old models. So I don't think that to go, yeah, these niche ones.
Well, the thing is that
a lot better.
Well, I think there is a disparity between the amount of people that really like the Horus Heresy books and the people playing Horus Heresy. I think if Horus Heresy was a better game,
I think Horus Heresy is a fucking great game.
I think it's too long and boring.
I think it has a risk of being boring. I think part of the reason why it has a risk of being boring isn't because of the rule set, it's because of its Space Marines versus Space Marines. And you've all got the same rules.
I love Space Marines. I love Space Marines. I love Space Marines versus Space Marines. I could just do Chaos Space Marines versus normal Space Marines all day. And it would be great. But I think 40k is just a better game. Because I love the Horus Heresy books, which are all about Space Marines versus Space Marines.
So going back to what Andy was saying, returning to Force Org charts, special characters unlocking unique army compositions. I want that sort of stuff back in though. I want Belial. I don't know. Hang on. This is an interesting question actually, based on what he's just said. Do you want Belial unlocks Terminators as battle line?
Yeah.
Or this specific Dark Angels detachment unlocks Terminators as battle line?
Detachment.
Why?
Belial is shite. You have the tax. What you're talking about there. To take Deathwing Terminators, you have to pay the tax of taking Belial, and he's terrible.
I don't know which
a normal Terminator captain is better than Belial.
But battle line units being unlocked by detachment or specific characters, chat. Tell me now, because I don't know. Because I like
if it was Terminator character, you wouldn't have to take them, right? If it was specific character. Like the problem is that you're in a situation where it's a lot of haves and have-nots, right? Because then you're in a situation where you're like, well, I'm going to take this army because this character unlocks this, and that character's great. And you're like, well, I want to take Deathwing, but I have to pay 100-point tax of Belial, and he does nothing. So
the problem is the fact that the characters aren't all created equally.
Yeah.
So because I don't think the tax is necessarily
make Belial damage-free, and he's GOAT. Currently, terrible.
Is he bad? I don't know his rules.
He gives his unit precision on critical hits.
Okay.
He should just give the unit precision. Because if you don't roll sixes, he's not good. Yeah, Torhouse says Belial is also cheaper. That's Tobes, isn't it?
Yeah. I like...
Why, Toby, why is your name all in caps?
Because...
Was he just screaming it?
Yeah. I don't like the fact... I don't like the fact that... I like the fact that... So if we take the new Ultramarines attachment...
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's an Ultramarines attachment, clearly, and if you take a specific character, you get an extra bonus.
Yeah, so this
you
is
don't
one...
have to take that character.
This is what I do like about the new stuff, right? The Raven Guards attachment. You don't have to take Sean.
Sean, the sheep.
You don't have to take Sean. But Sean lets you do a stratagem for free.
Yeah.
Right? New White Scars attachment. You don't have to take New White Scars man. But if you do, you get a thing. So I prefer that to saying you have to take this character. Because it's a choice then, you know?
Yeah, I think I like the way they're doing it now. I want to see more of it. And I want to see more detachments locked. So I wouldn't be against a world where they go, here's the new Ultramarines detachment, right? By the way,
So he's always screaming.
Yeah. By the way,
I've seen him build shelves downstairs. I'm not surprised.
Gladius is now gone.
Gladiators.
Gladius is now gone. Right. Here's the new Ultramarines attachment. It's Ultramarines only. You can't take any other chapter. If you do take Calgar, you get this benefit. Gladius is now gone. That's the final step that I think I would have preferred. I say this now, they haven't done it. I feel like I would have preferred it because at the moment it's like, yeah, here's my Space Wolves army. It's Gladius.
Well, the thing is though, it's like I like the idea that you've got a generic version and then you've got that, because it makes that special character more special. Because you've got First Company Task Force, or you've got Dwarf's unit, his version, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got the boring Iron Hands detachment, which ironically is the better version. You just have to play a really.
You're really trying to upset him downstairs, aren't you? He'll set that fire alarm off again.
He will.
Mike the Rhino, thank you for 5 gifted memberships, you beautiful human in America land with massive arms.
He's a juicy boy, isn't he?
He is a juicy boy, yeah.
I hope that this Christmas you get an alive Christmas tree that doesn't just shit everywhere.
Do you see was outside our door earlier talking about alive things?
Was it a homeless person?
Look at this little crap rat.
A little rat? Yeah, there's a bunch of them that live in our car park.
He was literally outside the front door.
Yeah?
Little crack rat.
He's bold now because he's filled with all the ket that the homeless
He
people.
definitely was on crack. Look at the statement at the back there.
Yeah.
He was definitely on crack. No
I'm
doubt.
gonna start putting out cat food for him.
No, we're fucking not. Traps, maybe. Thank you.
One
Mike.
more disrespectful Iron Hands comment. I'm going to go for a wee.
He doesn't like the Iron
Whilst
Hands
you
very
ponder
much.
about the return of your Primarch.
Who, the Iron Hands?
Yeah.
He's not returning, is he? He's dead. That's what Yeah. Lost it.
It's boring.
Thanks to Mike, chat, and others. We're now on 58 of the finest members. We're 2 to go to 60, which would be insane. 11 to go to that magical fabled number that we're all massively grown up about. And there's 324 of you wonderful humans watching, with 111 of the finest likes. So a third of you think the show's all right. The rest of you think the show's a bit shit. So I don't know what we have to do to entertain you all. Are you not entertained with Joe's constant toilet breaks? But yeah, if you could smash that like button for us, that is entirely free and it helps the algorithm. But like, we need 42 members to get to goal to take the pressure off little Brom Brom tonight, so he can not worry about it. He's in the toilet again, Toby.
So I'll take over now.
He goes to the toilet more than you.
I'll get the members up.
You haven't got a microphone either, though.
He's left his.
Has he left his? Right, okay.
Sorry, everybody, I'm here now.
Aren't you supposed to be building shelving?
Well, I've built some, but we have to get the members up somehow.
Yeah. Joe's little tee-hee always does it for me. Yeah. Thank you, Smeg, for Brain, for £2. He says, justice for chiropractors. This is because last night I said that chiropractors are con artists.
I went to a chiropractor once, right, and it went really badly, and he was a bit like, that shouldn't have made that sound, and I never went back. Never went back, everybody.
Every person I've ever known who's gone to a chiropractor is like, I have to go back every week.
There's something wrong with that.
Yeah, that's not right, is it? And thank you for the one gifted membership, you're a legend. Sandy, thank you for the $10. When I was kids, the entry to Warhammer was Space Crusade and Hero Quest. We need something like that again, a 30-40 quid game in a box.
It's important, I just want to state that me and Joe are friends, as much as there's the bants, right?
Are we friends?
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe we're not friends.
No, I say to a lot of people, I've said that if I'm really nice to people, then it means I don't like them.
All right, well, I mean, I've kept your seat warm, Joe. I'm going to go back down now.
Did you fart?
Are we getting Warhammer? Are we getting Hero Quest?
Who?
I want to do Hero. Oh, you're a waste of time. Toby, did you get a Hero Quest?
He got loads of members though.
Yeah, I got some members.
Yeah.
Oh, 15!
15!
Toby win it, coming in. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
No more Iron Hands disrespect, I'm coming back.
It'll set the fire alarm off again.
It's just too easy. That's the
Oh my
problem.
God, I had to leg it down those stairs. And
Yeah.
I was down, was just like, it won't stop. I'm like, no, it won't until I press the button.
Live Banner does say that those members were purely for Toby.
Yeah.
Wow. Love you all, chat. Bye-bye.
That got us to 73 as well. Look at that. We're 2 away from 75, chat. Right, so when I was a kid, the entry into one was Space Crusade and Hero Quest. We need something like that again, a 30-40 quid game in a box. I don't think we'll ever see that again. I don't think we will, because even Kill Team starter sets are like 100 and something quid. I just don't think we'll see it again.
So I think you can. You just have to be prepared to pay more.
It's not a 30 to 40 quid box, then, is it?
Yeah, no, because it's not right. 10 intercessors is 40 quid. Right. So you're not going to get a starter box set that's 40 quid. You might get a starter box set that's 80 quid, right? And that, I think, what it has to be, though, is that Games Workshop, I think, for its starter box sets, has to embrace the cheaper, colourful plastic that they used to do stuff in. So like there's that Dawn of War box set which is coming out, which has got the heroes of the chapter stuff in it, right?
Yeah.
Which is the Blade Guard, the Chaplain, the Eradicators and stuff. I think you can do it for cheap. Are you looking at the box set?
The starter sets that were the trimmed down Leviathan ones,
Yeah.
right? So the introductory set, which is 5 Infernus Marines just constantly flaming 10 Termagants.
Yeah.
Right, which is a very balanced box. That is actually 42 quid, 5 Space Marines, 10 Termagants, a Ripper base, a set of snips, a paintbrush, a measuring stick, 6 dice, 5 paints, and a mat to play on, plus a handbook. Like, they clearly can do it cheaper.
How much is the next one up?
The next one up, I think, was 70. £69.50, right? For £69.50, you get 5 Infernus Marines, a Captain and Terminator armor, 5 Terminators, 10 Termagants, I think that is. Maybe another 10 Termagants, might be Barb Gaunts. The weird, like, warrior winged person, the weird Psychophage, and 3 Von Ryans, 2 measuring sticks, double the number of dice. No paints, though.
So 70
quid.
70 quid, right? And that is easily 150 quid's worth of stuff.
Right.
Right, so it does exist. Can I play the bad man right now?
Have you done it all
I mean,
stream?
I've done it all stream. So I'll carry on.
So the answer is probably yes, Joe, to be
Right.
fair.
You want there to be a starter box set for 50 to 88 quid, right?
50 to 60 quid
Right.
would be, I think, ideal.
It exists, okay? Because you can buy that box set for less, because that's not direct order only.
No, so you can get 20% off. So that's what, 70 minus 14, so ish. So 55 quid from an independent that's doing a 20% discount.
So, I think we're complaining about, the people that are complaining that there's no cheap starter box set are complaining about a non-issue, right? What they want is a starter box set they can buy cheap models in that they want for their army.
I think
So this is the combat patrol problem that I've been complaining about the community. People always complain that combat patrols aren't any good.
I think the issue is that with Hero Quest and the other games mentioned, it's all about having a kind of contained separate game within that box that you can also use those models in 40k.
Yeah.
This isn't a contained separate game. This is just 40k.
Yeah.
But I think you're probably right. These starter sets, 70 quid from Games Workshop, so you're talking 55 quid from an independent, roughly speaking.
Yeah.
They exist.
Yeah.
And that's cheap.
That is a mini game
For that
in
much
itself.
model, like if you bought 5 Infernus Marines, a Terminator Captain, and 5 Terminators, you'd be spending more than £70. So in that point, all the Tyranny stuff in that particular box set is free. I personally don't think, in my opinion, the box sets they did in Leviathan were particularly well balanced. Like if you think about the smaller one with the paints, one brother gets 5 Infernus Marines and one brother gets 10 Termagants. One of them's having a really fucking bad time, innit, ultimately. So I don't think the balance is great.
How much is the Kill Team starter box set?
The Kill Team starter box set, let me find out for you, sir.
Because
Kill Team starter set.
Tumbleberries is reminding me of something.
The Kill Team starter set is currently £69.50, which gives you all those special Space Marines and Death Guard characters, plus a battle mat and some MDF terrain, plus loads of tokens.
So that's a 70 quid box set, which is filled with custom individual Space Marine models. Obviously, they were Warhammer heroes.
There's 7
also
Plague Marines
and a Sorcerer.
7 Space Marines.
Which is a captain.
The Sorcerer's in there, isn't he? As
Yeah.
well, yeah. So 7 Death Guard, 7 Space Marines.
Yeah, that's Space Crusade.
10 dice, pop out terrain. I mean, I actually personally think that the Kill Team starter set, you put 40k rules in that, it's the best starter box money you can buy.
Yeah.
I think it pisses all over the Leviathan starter box. Again, it's a 70 quid box from GW, which means it's 55 quid.
And it's made from the cheap, colourful plastic, which I think all starter box sets should be.
I think you lift, I honestly believe that you lift the Kill Team rules and tokens out of that set and you put in a begin to play 40k rule set and 40k
because
measuring sticks.
You just go, the captain is a captain, the intercessor is an intercessor, the heavy bolter guy is a heavy bolter guy. You know, like everyone, you just play the game as it is, but you're an individual model instead of a unit.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it?
I think that's great. I think it's a great one. It says Underworlds. Starter boxes was 60 quid, you know. Yeah.
So they exist. I don't think Kill Team is a game that most people that I know aren't really bothered by. Some people are, but most people aren't really bothered by. And the 40k starter sets I think are horrifically imbalanced.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm interested. I am very, very excited and looking forward to 11th edition starter box set because I think it could be the best starter box ever made.
Fingers crossed.
Right, because we don't know what it is, we don't know what's in it, but I think Games Workshop is a learning machine, right? This is not capable of love, but it does learn, you know? And Games Workshop learn over time. They've made mistakes and they've learnt from them. They are making the game cheaper, clearly, but just don't talk about how they're making it cheaper. Units that used to come in 5s now come in 10s. It's cheaper to get the 10.
This is life in general, Joe, right? Yeah. Everyone spreads the bad news. People don't spread the good. Look at the Kill Team boxes. They've also come down in price because they've gone, those that don't want the Kill Team gumph, you can now just buy the models and the boxes are cheaper.
Yeah.
It's significantly cheaper.
I wouldn't be surprised if the starter box set for 11th had terrain in it.
I hope so. Same MDF pop-out stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate it, but I think it's a great, like, one of the things I always remember when we had the old starter box sets was you get, like, 2 little plastic grey ruins, and that's your terrain.
Yeah.
And you're like, cool, I guess I'm grabbing Pringles
But
cans.
before that, it was popped out cardboard.
Yeah, well, I never...
MDF, it was literally cardboard. And then the terrain at the time that you bought was cardboard with little black squares that had slots in it that you put your cardboard in to keep the buildings to keep their shape. Like, having actual laser cut textured MDF lasts way longer than cardboard, right? And is cheaper than plastic.
And you can unslot it and pack it away.
Yeah.
Which I think, so for home, I think it's great. I don't like the stuff, but for home, I think it's incredible.
I think as a starter box set, we could potentially be going into the best edition that we've ever had.
Let's hope, Joe, let's hope. Thank you, Battle Chode, for the $5. He says, can't wait to see you Tuesday. Well, his name's actual Battle Barn, but if you look at the logo, it looks like a weird chody penis.
Yeah.
So that's Eddie, if you're unaware.
That's all about width, not length, that one.
I popped into his chat last night after the show to go and hang out with him and watch his stream for a bit.
The viewers went up to 2.
No, 1. And to say hello. The fire alarm has gone off again. Toby, get ready. Just so you're aware, there is a carpenter at work in the ground floor, and some of the drilling and some of the grinding that he's doing to fit things in the bar area, there's a lot of smoke generated. Which is why the fire alarm keeps going off. It's the system's on test, so it doesn't phone. Thankfully, it doesn't phone the fire brigade.
Yeah.
Because that would fucking upset them a lot. So I've got the system on test till 6 p.m. So this is why we're not running, because I know what's going on, and if there's a problem, Toby would let me know immediately if there's an actual problem. So that's what that is. It's just he's working on the bar area, and it's creating some smoke. So don't panic. But yeah, so Eddie, I went and hung out on Eddie's stream for a few minutes before I went to bed and sobbed. He's coming in next Tuesday. You're playing in next Tuesday.
I saw.
With Jeans to the Colts, because I'm at the football.
Yeah.
So he says, can't wait to see you next Tuesday. I haven't seen him for ages. I'm going to wait here until he turns up, have a hug and a cup of tea, and go to the football so you play him, and then come back afterwards.
That'll be exciting.
But yeah, I love Eddie. If you haven't already, go check out Battle Barn. It's a little orange logo with a little like shed stroke tank looking penis thing, like a weird little chode in his logo.
Yeah.
It's significantly better than his Triad logo ever was, though.
It's not hard though, is it?
Yeah.
That was a 2-minute job in MS Paint. That was. He was so proud of it, but I was like, literally, you got two custom-made images from like paint and just put one over the top.
I love him though. I love that little goblin. Thank you, Holy Taboo, for the $2. Nice seeing you at Eddie's stream last night. I didn't realise he was on, so I finished the show, went back to the YouTube homepage, and there he was. So I dropped in for a few minutes.
I was playing Resident Evil 4 last night. Yeah.
We're 2 members, chat. 2 away from 75. I like nice multiples of 5s. It satisfies my OCD. Yeah. Thank you, Sam, for $5. Just want to say, bit of a scary day, but good news in the end. You guys have massively cheered me up and put a good smile on my face, so thank you.
Good.
Oh, thanks, Deeks. I don't know why it was a massively scary day. Glad it's
Were
now
you
okay.
on a windy roof?
Yeah. Hopefully everything's all right, mate. And then we get some gifteds, Joe. You ready for some quick fire hopes?
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam, for 5 gifted memberships.
I hope that you get homemade chicken stew for dinner.
Ooh. Thank you, Rossonero, for 20 more gifted memberships, because he's already done 20, and specifically say this is the Please Don't Beat Joe Fund.
Fair.
I think he means physically, not in games, because we can't commit to that latter one, to be fair.
No, I let them win. I hope, Rossonero, that you are given a mint Viennetta for pudding tonight.
I haven't had one of those in ages.
There was a time when
banging as
you
well.
were peak of society when you had Viennetta for dinner.
Yeah.
Like people would come over and be like, oh God,
That's
Viennetta for
fancy.
dinner. Now they're like £1.
Yeah. They're fucking mint Viennettas are lovely.
You get mini ones now as well.
I want one
Like
now.
a choc ice, but Viennetta.
Although it's too cold to eat one at the moment. I mean, you could probably take it out of the desk and leave it in here all stream and it would have been okay.
Yeah. The desk would freeze around it.
Yeah, thank you, Pie Walker, for 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Pie Walker. I hope that you are given a really nice gingerbread candle to have on your desk at work.
A candle that smells of gingerbread or is made of gingerbread?
It smells of gingerbread.
What does gingerbread smell of? Is it nice?
Yeah, gingerbread, I guess.
Well, I mean, I know gingerbread smells of gingerbread, but well, whatever.
I got one yesterday as well, nice.
And then finally, thank you, Limey Panda, for the 10 gifted membership.
Thank you, Lion Panda.
Who said it was specifically for Toby.
Oh,
So before you give the hope, I thought I'd just give you that piece of information. Remember that piece of
Yeah.
information.
I hope that, Lion Panda, that all your army rules are always better than Iron Hand's rules. Yeah.
Thanks for the shout out. Don't worry about it. It's fine, mate. I mean, I noticed you're grey, but whatever. You know. I've had a shit start to the week. Friend had a severe car crash, and another close friend committed suicide. That sounds fucking awful.
Yeah.
Keep tuning in, Lehman, and hopefully we can cheer you up. All right?
Get yourself a mint Viennetta. Always makes you feel better.
I do want one now. Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any whip photos or videos of downstairs? Be cool to see the build out. If you, Ben, now you're a member, if you go onto the members section on YouTube and videos, there is tons of behind the scenes little videos of the progress. I haven't yet got one this week because we've literally had people in every day from early. So I haven't had a chance. I won't film them when there's workers in there because it's not up to them if they want to be on YouTube or whatever. So there'll be another update coming in very soon. I was doing it every Monday morning, but because the guys turned up before I did yesterday, it's kind of not been possible. And he was also fucking keen this morning. He was in before I was this morning as well. I turned up at like 8 o'clock and he was already here.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'll get another video soon. There's lots happening. Thanes do get some extra photos because, you know, Thanes and they.
Yeah.
We didn't even, I was hoping we'd at least round it off on 75 before we end the show. But here we are. We have got to 3:30. We have got to a 2-hour show. And we have, in fact, got to 73 of the finest members. We nearly got to £100 super chats. We did get to over 100 likes, so thank you so much, you wonderful humans. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show. Let me know what you think. Stick it in the comment section after the show. Tell me whether you think 40k 10th edition is a success or a failure. I think for the most part, it's probably a success. Games Workshop made a ton of money. There's a load of new players playing the game. Players that aren't playing the game are typically within the Games Workshop ecosystem somewhere anyway, most of them at least.
Yep.
I only think it was a failure perhaps for the first 6 months, and I think they course-corrected rather quickly, and they shut up with a lot of their fancy marketing rhetoric very fast because they went, oh, this is a bad idea. And if you think about the way they handled things like Legends right at the start, that also wasn't good. So I would suggest the first six months was probably a bit shit, but they've rescued it. And I've had a load of fun since, and I know Joe's had some fun since, and Paddy enjoys it, and Tom enjoys it, and Brom's got
I
to
just
learn
wish I
the-
could play more.
Yeah. I could play once a week on the show and I'd be perfectly happy. I don't think I want to play more.
I'd like, my plan next year is to do 6 majors. Like GT level events. Obviously doing Beachhead. I want to do Windsor, Winchester, South Coast Super Major,
Bristol,
LGT,
LGT.
and I'd like to get in, if they do one, a Warhammer World Golden ticket.
Yeah, I keep saying I'd like to do that with you all because it sounds like fun. We'll see when we get to
I
it.
picked most of them because they were local.
Which makes it more appealing to me
Yeah.
for certain. But I also, the reason why I used to like running events is because I just like being around people playing Warhammer more than I actually like playing Warhammer. Which is odd, I know, but that's just.
I like playing Warhammer and spend time. I like playing the game and talking about the game. I think going to events is I look at most events like I talked to a lot of people at Worlds, and they were like, the UK and America events are very different because American events are like you go to do well and win, right? The emphasis on American events is about winning and doing well. Whereas in the UK, it's more like lads' weekend is priority, right? Having fun, going out for meals, spending time with people. The second part is like, if you do well,
Great.
That's a bonus.
Yeah.
Right? People want to do well, but also like they want to go out, they want to hang out with their mates, they want to go out for a nice dinner or two, like they want to have like a cool lunch, they just want to just hang, you know? I think the emphasis is more on the social. You're just flying around with your phone.
It's because I'm getting it ready to end the show.
Is that you just telling me to shut up?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
That was. I moved my phone into place to get ready for the end screen credits button.
Yeah.
That's still not working, and I can't get to work. And I knocked it with my thumb, and I was like, "Oops, sorry, Joe." I was mid chat, and it started the countdown. It would have woke some people up at home, though.
Yeah.
They're going, "What the fuck's that?"
Yeah. I think my goal this year is maybe get into like ITC top 100.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
If I could do that, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I really would like to try and do something similar, but I don't
Yeah.
think I will, to be fair. Right, anyway, you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We did get to 75 members in the end. Thank you so much, Gamer Aviation and Sam Deacon for the one gifted each, you legends. Just 25 away. Brom's only got to do 125 tonight now. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show. We've obviously kept you on your toes, kept your heart rate up, 2 fire alarms and a random countdown halfway through the show. So hopefully you have enjoyed it. If you're not a member already, hit that membership button and support us here because we put out a stream every single weekday. Tuesdays and Thursdays we put out 2 more often than not. So tons of content coming out. There's some behind the scenes videos coming out. Joe's getting ready sometime soon to learn about pre-recorded and do pre-recorded content. We might start doing his crazy Top Gear ideas because I actually think that's fucking genius. So there's loads more content coming. At the same time, we're also building a shop on the ground floor and a gaming venue. And we've got an online retail store coming soon as well. And all this extra stuff, right? All this extra stuff. So come and join us, become a member, support the stream, support the channel, support me and Joe, and Luce at home, and all the rest of the lads. That'd be amazing. There is a live game tonight, 7:30. Brom returns.
Yay.
I checked. It was early May was the last time he played on the channel.
Really?
I looked yesterday. Yeah, early May.
Jesus.
Like the 12th of May or something. That was the last time he played.
Do you
on the
reckon
channel.
people remember him?
I don't know. I think some people. There's definitely going to be people in chat like, who the fuck's this?
I remember when Eddie came back from a little hiatus and people were like, who the fuck's this guy?
Yeah. I think it's going to happen tonight as well. So Brom's back tonight. I cannot wait to have him back. So come and hang out with us tonight at 7:30 for that. We've got obviously the normal 7:30 show tomorrow evening. We've got a Liam and Joe show Thursday lunchtime, and then it's Joe versus Paddy on Thursday evening. And then we come back with After Dark at 9 p.m. on Friday to round out the week. That's everything, I think.
That's
You
it.
people have been amazing. Thank you for hanging out with us. Hopefully we'll see you tonight. If not, we'll see you in the next one.
Iron hands are boring. Bye.